Welcome everyone to our channel, first time with cryptocurrencies. We are living in interesting times. There's blood on the markets. Blood is flowing. I can't remember a situation like this, such declines in a long time. There is so much news and such extreme news at that I think we can easily record about it. At least 2 videos. But that's not what this is about yet. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to our latest tool. This is the Trading Zone Pro area. Right now, everyone is asking themselves, is this the end of the declines? Should I buy? Should I invest? Should I catch it? Is this a falling knife or should I not try to catch it? By creating our zone here, we'll try to clarify this for you a bit. In this video, I'll show you how it works, how it functions live. We want to use it. This tool was created by us for you, and I'd also like you to participate in developing and improving this tool. You'll find out what it looks like at this moment and what we're showing here in this video. I encourage you to watch it. Let's get started so as not to drag it out and make it unnecessarily long, so it doesn't get too lengthy here. On the occasion of the debut of our tool, we have some interesting promotions for you. So for the trading zone area, we've prepared 25 coupons. Why only this amount for now? We'll explain that to you somewhere towards the end of this video. That's because this isn't the substantive value I'd like to present to you here. But in any case, if you purchase access to the trading zone with this code, you'll get a 70 Polish zloty discount. If you choose the full package of our tool, meaning Project Anti-Scam, which protects you from scams in the Ethereum ecosystem, together with our Project Anti-Scam package and the trading zone, you'll get a 170 Polish zloty discount. So then the entire package. I think the prices for this package are quite attractive, considering what we're offering here. And you know quickly, well, of course, this is how it looks at the moment. But we've already debuted all of this 2 days earlier. We're going to keep improving everything. We'll try to do this together with you. Anyway, yes, you can create an account, set it up now, choose the package you want, and you'll have the package yourself. Trading zone, if someone just wants the project. Anti-scam, if someone wants the package. And of course, when activating, please enter those discounts. You will automatically have the subscription amount, because we operate on a subscription basis. I've described it nicely for you in the description. We're building this publicly together with you step by step, iteratively. We want to be completely transparent, which is why all the results from this tool will be live. After all, what's the point of a tool that doesn't work in real market conditions? Obviously, we're in a tough market. This is the crypto market. And first of all, we're not going to build a narrative like, I don't know, giving you some kind of magic book that will suddenly make all your trades good because all your trades will be bad. That's unrealistic, and that's not how we approach this either. So what do we want to do? We want to give you a few extra percentage points, a few more % chance that your trade will be better, because as I mentioned earlier, people have instincts, but unfortunately we lose. When I say we, I mean traders. We lose because of emotions, right? So everyone would like the perfect solution, and it would be like, I think everyone has noticed, it's all about analysis. It's all about analysis and turning off those emotions. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here. How does it work in practice? Does it work? A little spoiler, it does work. So far since the debut, we're 5-0 in the market. 5-0 when it comes to our head-to-head with the market. I'll show you that here in the next part. I had to take a break here. My dog raised some objections. So, as I was saying, we want to build this, getting back to the topic, we want to build this publicly, together with you. We don't have any sponsors, there's no big company behind us, nor any fund that would sponsor us here. That's why, in order for us to operate, to grow, to maintain servers, to develop modules, to train our proprietary artificial intelligence, we have artificial intelligence, and we have to rely on subscriptions. So every subscription you purchase is a sign for us that what we do is useful to you. Therefore, every subscription bought, we try to make sure that it's really at very attractive prices. I think that if someone is making money from trading, right now, with these discount codes, it comes out to 70 zloty per month. We're also working on an additional offer now, since we're the official partner of BIX, because you have to buy those games somewhere, so we simply chose BIX. Now we're going to make an offer that if someone registers through our link, they'll get an extra 20 zloty discount. So basically, after all these discounts, you get a tool for 50 zloty, which I'm about to demonstrate to you. Basically, well, I don't know, that's how it works out. 1.5 zloty per day, 1.5 zloty per day, I don't know, an energy drink that you usually have, you skip it, and thanks to that you get support here. Alright, so how does it work? Soon I'm recording this at 11:45 a.m. on February 2nd, so all the data you're seeing here right now is live data. So now you can choose any token that's available on the Binance exchange. For example, we'll do this with Bitcoin. Obviously that won't take too long, so afterwards I'll also analyze 4 more cryptocurrencies, the ones I released. on February 2nd, so you can see how this works on real market data. As I said, we try to be transparent, and of course we will make mistakes. This is an unpredictable market. No one can tell you for sure whether it will go up or down. We can only try to tilt the odds a little bit in our favor. You always have a 50% chance up or down. We're simply trying to give you those few extra percentage points. Thanks to that, it might change your perspective on the market and how you operate in it. Alright, so let's choose. We have intervals of 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 4 hours, and 1 day. We click, we'll take the hourly interval, because earlier we also used the hourly, and we click, analyze. Right now our algorithms are analyzing here. WAM setup. The ideal solution for us right now, yes, we are in a downtrend, no doubt about it. It's not clear where this will end. As you can see here, this is a chart on the Wings exchange. Here you have the band, of course, Bollinger's. And as you can see, any place would have theoretically been good for opening a position, but it ended the way it did. What does our tool show? Right now, yes, we have it. The current setup score is 45. Okay. For us, what exactly would be our ideal solution moving forward? We definitely need to achieve a setup score of at least BA level. We have an automatic trend filter, which determines the trend filter based on current market conditions. We need a long, meaning, for example, we've just had a decline, so we want to take good positions. Long, so we need a high setup score, we need the trend feeder to be long, and we also need the market echo to be on long. So until these conditions are met, we wait, we simply wait, we turn off our emotions, we don't try to catch falling knives, because as I said, our goal is, yes, this is aimed at traders, meaning people who have some knowledge of the market. I just think they would be much better traders if they just turned off their emotions. So we will try to make sure that all this knowledge, all this experience, mine as well, since I'm also a trader, will be shared somewhere in the next videos. I'll show you that it's not like I just grabbed the microphone and you have no idea what I'm presenting here. So I'll show you what my trades look like as well. So I'm also writing this for myself. I would like to have a tool that allows me to turn off my emotions and gives a simpler, totally objective view of the market. That's exactly why our trading zone area was created. So for example, right now, if we're playing for a rebound, let's wait. I'll show you in a moment that this will change. Let's wait until it forms here. Here we'll have a long, meaning the trend filter is long, the setup is strong, and the market echo will be at the long level. Then we'll consider opening a position. Here, yes, aside from all that, these are our proprietary algorithms that analyze the actual current situation, the current situation on the market. In addition, we add 11 more indicators to this. Now let me quickly show you how this is calculated, so analyze. Or maybe we'll change this story to 4 hours, just so you know. Here at the bottom, all the indicators we currently have are being calculated in real time, reflecting the current market situation. You can zoom in on each indicator, you can expand them, because as I said, I want this tool to be useful for beginners. For beginner users as well as for more advanced traders. So above the chart, tiles will pop up here for us. Now each of these channels, each of these tiles, meaning each of these indicators, let's assign it a status maybe. So for example, MACD in a downtrend, EMA below EMA 200 in a downtrend, RSI neutral, Bollinger neutral, file and grid. When we click, we will be taken. How much do we have right now? 14. Extreme fear. Look for opportunities with confirmation. So as you know, buy when everyone else is selling. So we do the opposite of the market and cheaper. Taker is already positive, stock is neutral. So yes, here, you always have this cheat sheet at hand and you wait until these indicators simply turn green. As for the chart itself, on the chart we have MASTO. We can turn all of this off if we want. We also have a channel that is drawn automatically. So if our trend at the moment shows automatically, the trend selection shows a downward trend, so we draw a channel. So if this is a downward trend, here we have a 4. Let's set it to the 1 hour chart, so it's closer. I'll run it through again. At the moment, we have such a channel marked out. Since we are in a downward trend, it's clear that we open positions as close as possible to the upper channel. We buy here as close as possible to the lower channel in case of a possible breakout. With one click, you simply have the channel drawn, currently for the selected interval. This will help you make decisions here. The channel indicator shows where we are right now, as you can see. If we are in a downtrend, we should open a position as close as possible to the upper channel. So, the higher the value of this channel indicator for the trend, the better the spot to open a position. At the moment, we are at 64% of this channel. Of course, up here it will be 100%. In addition, if you click here, we have FIBO. So if we zoom in on this chart, you can see that for Bitcoin, at the price of 78,131, we have the upper Fibo level, which if you are still in a downward trend is a good place to open a position. So you see, you have all of this available at your fingertips, all the indicators. You can easily click, easily switch, turn on MA10, MA25, MA100, MA200. Everything is right at your fingertips. Below the chart, you have the sum. Maximum and minimum values for the last 25 candles for the selected indicator components. So for example, in the last 25 candles, depending on the selected interval. So if we have an hour, that's 25 hours. Accordingly, 4 hours, that will be 100, 120 hours, which is 5 hours, and so on. So now if we see something and want to take a short position, if we notice that recently, meaning within the last 25 candles, for example, yesterday, the maximum price was 78,000 and the minimum was 75,000, then let's wait until we are simply as close as possible to that level, to that price. And accordingly, you can analyze all these indicators yourself. You have everything at your fingertips. You have it all. It's all available. You don't need to have 15 screens or monitors open. Everything is served to you on a silver platter. Now, at the bottom, we have a compendium here. If you just want to further your education here, you can find out what each indicator is, what it represents, trend, momentum, volatility, volume. So you can read everything for yourself. When you expand it, you get more advanced details. You don't have to Google things now to look them up somewhere else. All these indicators, everything, are explained right at your fingertips, all in one place. Of course, this is the initial phase of this tool. We will keep developing it further. Here you have an option to expand the panel on the left side where you can submit an analysis. You can send us an email. So for example, if you've done some analysis, you can paste a screenshot there, paste the price, mention what didn't work out for you. We will analyze all of this individually and will constantly strive to improve these tools. So here we have something like an email client, which I don't use. You can take a screenshot, that is, share your whole screen. You have it now in the clipboard in memory, and you can simply send it with Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, just like I said. These tools will keep getting better if you actively participate in developing this tool. Now, briefly, does it work? Well, damn, it works. Now I'll show you a live example. So, in order for them to make these tools available to an MP, well, that's the thing. What's the point if it only works under certain conditions? I don't know, artificial ones where it worked for us once, but I don't know, 10 times it didn't. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's why, as I said, we're totally committed to transparency. Sorry about my voice, but unfortunately there's something going on with my throat and I have to record anyway. Time is running out, so once again I apologize. I hope it's understandable that my voice is fairly audible and that this looks more or less okay. Alright, so just briefly, we want to work in a completely transparent way. Obviously, we're going to make mistakes. No one can tell you for sure whether it's going to go up or down. We just want to slightly increase your chances. So let's analyze this using real-life examples that actually happened. Now, if you go to our profile, where you saw the first videos about cryptocurrencies, of course we encourage you to subscribe and follow our channel on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, everything is appreciated. So once again, everyone is asking me whether to buy now or wait a bit longer. That was the situation. I published that post at 10 a.m. on February 1st. So let's assume that our reference point will be February 1st at 10 a.m. Here, I pasted in the current data, which is the same as what I showed you. Now, I did this in the video, meaning our Sorin, which offers our tool for the 4 most popular cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. In each of these cases, our tool indicated short. If you expand it here, you have the exact setup where we were supposed to set the stop loss, where we were supposed to do it here with a 1% risk. For the purposes of this video, I set the risk at 3%. I think that's the most universal piece of information I've come across, that the risk is 3% of capital. Here you have 1%, so you can follow the entire setup. As I said, our tool also offers you the entry point. You have the current price, where you should set the stop loss, where you should take profit. Of course, this is not investment advice, it's an educational tool. The purpose is for you to learn how the market behaves in a specific situation. That is, when we have certain indicators and certain values of those indicators, how the market will behave at this moment with such an indicator component. For example, like here where we had that one Bitcoin, if this was the current situation on the market, from that situation 51.7% went up. And as for declines, 48.3%, right? You understand? So it's just a tool that currently analyzes the present market situation. All right, let's keep it short and to the point. So briefly, Bitcoin, short trend, item position, and now let's check what happened. Secondly, I think the most important value of our tool is education. So yes, you can set any date you want and analyze the chart. Now I'll do this with you in real time, so you can see it historically just like that. The assumptions we suggested, whether they worked out or not, so we'll do it like this. We'll analyze it live now, meaning just as I'm speaking today at 12 o'clock on February 2nd, what we suggested to you on February 1st at 10 a.m. So let's go into Bitcoin, February 1st. We set the date, we can either type it in or select it, so February 1st, 10 a.m. As far as I remember, 10 a.m. And now we do something like an analysis just like that. So now we're basically going back in time to those market conditions that existed at that moment. We'll turn off the FIBO, maybe leave the MA. So this was the market situation at that time. This is a vertical line that shows you how far back you're going. And in that setup, as you can see, we were suggesting a downward trend with an entry at this level. Stop loss, actually that's not so important anymore. What I really want to show you is not the exact values, but rather how this works. So yes, we're suggesting the sort 45 setup, which is kind of 50-50. The trend is still downward, market echo is neutral, so we assume we're still in a downtrend. We don't see it here. Here we're going after big declines. So our main natural goal is to find a spot where a breakout will occur, meaning an upward trend will start. So yes, we still suggest that. Downward trend. Now we click, draw the chart. We draw. And now, as you can see, what our tool suggested back then, so again, a downward trend, and it turned out to be correct. From that point on, we had a downward trend. Next example. Sorry, I have to step away, we're coming back. Unfortunately, the phone, as I said, someone is active. The period before these fairs. So we open a short position, and as you can see, we still didn't have a breakout, so we keep the short position. As for the value set for entry, stop loss, and take profit, that's clear. Here. It's also an individual matter where exactly you set them, but we won't be dealing with that just yet. The most important thing I want to show you here is that you should simply turn off your emotions. In other words, we don't enter the market unless we have clear signals, a breakout. Because now everyone asks themselves this question. The question is there a breakout here? Is there a breakout here? Was there a breakout here? As you can see, there wasn't one anywhere. If we look back historically, our tool did not indicate any breakout in the last 3 to 4 days. All right, so that's the second one that hit the mark. Next, we had Solana, but I think XRP was in between. XRP is the last one. All right, Solana. So now let's type in Solana. Analyze those hourly ones again. At the moment, as far as Solana is concerned, we still have a downward trend here. We don't see any signs of a breakout, although it's slightly changing in real time. For now, market echo is already moving into a neutral status, so it's possible that the high score status for the downward trend will continue. Alright, so now let's analyze back to the hour when our post was published, which is here, where we then gave a 51% probability that you could assume in percentages, although I would rather go by the letters A and B if there are still strong counter movements from this trend. So that's how it is. Let's continue. Our tool suggests a downward trend, although that's just the market's echo. In this situation, with high probability, there was a small rebound from this point, right? So here we simply have a divergence between our tools. This is not a signal that I would recommend for taking a position. We need to have alignment here. We need to have agreement, meaning the trend should be long and the tool as well. The market echo should also be long, as well as the setup score. It should be at least a B. Of course, ideally it should be an A. Next, we have a downward trend, so we draw the chart further. And as you can see here, more or less from this position, it's possible that here, even when it comes to the market echo, it was subtly suggesting something. Here, this rebound, but we still had a downward trend. How do we draw it? The channel, as you can see, we went exactly from the upper position of the channel to the lower position of the channel. And the last example, just to wrap this up, this XRP topic. Why is this so important? Because it's real. It's not that something was prepared or anything like that. This was live. I published this Twitter post live on February 1st, and now after 1 day and a half, you could say, I'm showing you how it actually translated into real market conditions. And the last example, XRP. We're analyzing it live right now. We still have it. Unfortunately, the trend is downward. Market echo is high, so here the channel is a bit. So as for XRP, even at this channel level, you could once again consider opening a short position. We'll go back again to that time, that post, meaning the analysis as well. At that time, we suggested a short trend, market echo short with high probability. We draw the chart and look at how it behaved. And as you can see from that moment, the price dropped. All right, and as I said, that's the purpose of this tool. It has been tested live under market conditions. At this moment, I have published 5 posts. As for the market echo, right now, all 5 have proven accurate. Of course, we are in a downward trend. We'll see how it behaves. When a rebound from this downward trend is detected, we will keep you updated in real time. But what am I getting at? You have something at hand that will allow you to turn off your emotions, because right now, everyone is wondering whether you should buy now or do something or make that breakthrough. We're telling you simply, turn off those emotions and wait for confirmation. This downward trend will happen. It will happen. We just need to wait for some indicator confirmations. We have our proprietary algorithms here, which are currently calculating. That's all. We have these indicators, but I didn't write them myself. Someone else wrote them, some really smart guy. I just use them. So basically, everything has been gathered together to give you a bit more. A better chance, so to speak, to get anything out of this market. As I said, this is not investment advice. It's purely and solely an educational tool. How you use it is up to you. It depends entirely on you. So yes, we have the ability to backtest historically how the individual indicators behaved in the market. All right, so this topic, for now, as I said, we're at 5-0. Now, will that change or not? So I want to show you here, don't worry, it will change. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Let's set it to hourly. And now, could we have caught that huge drop? I'll try to make this a bit more readable. This Bollinger is covering it up for me here. All right, let's do it here. We have the Bitcoin chart. And now, could we have caught that big drop that happened on the 20th? Actually, it started earlier, maybe. We have the hourly candles. I'll try to adjust it in a moment. Of course, this is being done live, just so there's none of those here. The biggest drop in Bitcoin happened here, right? On January 18th. Oh, so maybe let's go back to that. So January 18th, well, I don't know, around 6 a.m., right? All right, so let's switch to the hourly chart. What do I want to show you, right? Could we have simply avoided losing money here? I mean, losing funds or whatever if you were investing. Could we have predicted this drop earlier? January 18th. Well, actually, yes. From that moment, we started to drop, so let's take a look at what our indicators are. On January 18th at 3 in the morning, we're going back historically. We're on Bitcoin, of course. January 18th. Here we have the most recent data in this range. 500 candles. That's why sometimes those little squares will stop appearing for you. Here you have this range, more or less, so we can analyze from January 12th on this interval, on the 4-hour interval starting from November 11th and up to the day of the war. September 20th, 2024. We're analyzing 500 candles because I think this market is so dynamic with so many changes that there's no point in analyzing everything extremely far back in history. All right, let's get back to it. January 18th, the start of Thursdays, right? 13-14. Okay, we'll start from 10 o'clock. We're already doing the analysis as well. So we're basically going back in time to that moment. So right now we have, the trend shows long, market echo is long. From my point of view as a trader, that's a good position. We simply had some kind of peak. We also have a channel defined here. We're in the middle, let's say, of this channel. 48% exactly. So here it's still suggesting long. We'll see how it looks at 12 o'clock. Analyze as well. We still have a long trend. Market echo is long. The uptrend continues. We'll see what it looks like at 6 p.m. The analyses are already standing. Next we have long. Maybe on January 19th we will jump to 1 o'clock. Because these declines started somehow. 18 to 19. 19 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Analysis already. And look what happened here, how, but you will not have such notifications popping up. And well, it was already after the relegation. So let's do it this way. On January 18th at 8 p.m. I don't know exactly what time these declines started, that's not it. I want to show you that if we have a long trend, it will change. To short 22 analyses. And still, we have more. Long The scheduled time for this particular event is currently set to take place exactly at 7 o'clock in the evening. And look what happened. We had a long the whole time, which was a logical move here, but at 1900 at midnight, our trend filter switched to short. Our market echo turned neutral and the indicator started to show neutral as well, meaning the trend was already, we had the taker going down, MACD was already at the bottom, EMA as well, and some switched to neutral. So we switched from a long trend to a short. And as you know, what happened at, I don't know, let's take 2 a.m. as an example. Or actually, let me draw the chart from here. I'll draw the chart. And there was a drop. So yes, as you can see, the tool will allow you to spot it. A drop, right? So if you just had this tool at hand, you would notice, I don't know, you're playing long. But if you ran the analysis and suddenly your filter switched to short, well, there's a high probability that it's just going to end. And that's how it would be if you used our tool. Now, around January 18th, you would have avoided those losses, those huge drops, because we predicted it. Of course, this is just the beginning. We're only getting started, but we will be transparent. We will publish data. And right now, we're giving you a real tool that works on current market data and will help you become better traders. So don't worry. I think I've covered everything for you here. What I wanted to show you has been presented. Everything is live. Everything is live. There are no setups or tricks here. You can use it yourself, track it yourself, and simply see how it works. And coming back to the current market situation, we're waiting. So in short, answering your questions about whether we should buy now or not, we wait unless something changes here. The score setup on AB is also fine, but AB is of course large. If the trend changes too long, if the market echo changes too long, then consider taking a position. Alright, so to sum up briefly, there's still a lot to improve, but as I said, we wanted to give this to you. Times are tough, so right now, the market is extremely difficult. You have to outplay the Trumps, you have to outplay BlackRocks, you have to outplay ETFs, you're up against limited big money. You are completely defenseless in this market, so we're giving you, once again, as the main principle of our company, Ruklam Media Company, is to provide you with a shield. We gave you a great shield, which is called the Anti-Scam Project. If you use it, if you do it, there's more about it, of course, on our channel. I encourage you to watch those videos. So if you use it, you have a superb shield that protects you from buying any scam in the Ethereum ecosystem. Now, let us provide you with yet another protective shield and another powerful tool that will allow you to be even more thoroughly equipped in this volatile market so that you simply obtain a robust shield for your protection. A shield. This is a good way, so something that will let you gain that 2 to 3% edge because of course we're talking here about the futures market. This has nothing to do with investing, this is day trading and it's gambling. Contrary to the general narrative that everyone puts out there, for me, this is gambling. You have a 50% chance, just like roulette. Black or red? A real investment is done on the basis of DCA, meaning you find a project and invest in it over a set period of time.